Financial Kitchen. This is Yenisel and I'm going to be making for you today stuffed bell peppers the Cuban way. I do have here, of course, the main ingredients, which are the bell peppers. I also have organic beef. I do like to use organic in my meals, so we have a ground beef here. Each one of these is a 1 pounder. I like to make a double portion, as well as the cheese here, which we have 4 different mix, organic as well, tomato sauce, 2 cans of that, 1 per pound. I also have white wine vinegar, cumin, sea salt, very important, cayenne pepper for those who do like a little bit of spicy in their food. I have olive oil, 1 entire onion, half of it for each pound, about 4 cloves of garlic for each pound. I have another pepper here. You can use red or you can use any color you prefer to do the little stir fry. I also have green onions here as well. This is everything that we're going to need ingredient wise to make our beautiful, delicious bell peppers. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take them all, we're going to cut them in half, we're going to wash them out and carve all of the inside, take every seed out very nicely, and we'll be back after the next step. You can see it has been now crushed with the garlic crusher, as well as the green onions. I separated the green side from the onion side. I also cut up any pepper, bell pepper that you prefer, and then make it small like this. Chopped up in small little squares. We are now at the stove. I like to use a wok because it is a little bit more room, is deeper, and the meat is going to cook better here. So we're going to go ahead and put it at a very high heat, and then I'm going to take for these 2 pounds of ground beef, I am going to take about 2 ounces of oil, and I am just going to pour it. Just a little note, this olive oil here, it's actually bought at Costco and it's one for frying. So you actually can heat it at a very high temperature because olive oil normally cannot be unless the bottle says that it can. So once the oil has been a little bit hot, we're going to go ahead and put the onions in it, to stir fry the onions in it. We're going to throw in the bell pepper that we have cut down. And also with the green pepper, I separated the green from the onion side, and I'm going to put the onion side on here on the top. Leaving the crushed garlic here on the side for later. And stirring right here. And you have to do this for about 3 minutes or so until the flavor starts to come out of the stir fry. Now it has been frying here for a few minutes, and then we're now going to go ahead and throw in our ground beef. Go ahead and empty all of it in there, and I like to break it down because I don't like it to be lumpy. It's now been stir frying for about 5 minutes. The actual key to this is that you continue to stir it, because if you don't, it's going to burn. It is still a high heat. Continue to stir, do not move, and breaking it down, so that the lump can continue to go down. This is the key to this. So right now, after 5 minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and put in our garlic. Garlic is a #1 ingredient in a Cuban kitchen. Garlic adds a lot of flavor to anything you're making. The more garlic, the better. And guess what? It is awesome for your bone structure. It gives you a lot of support for your bones. So as much garlic as you can take it, go ahead and put it in. The next thing we're going to put in is cumin. Cumin is also essential in ground beef. So I got a little teaspoon because it's going to be about half a teaspoon per pound. So because we have a double portion, we have that right in there. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, and this you can actually do it to your tastings. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little teaspoon as well of the salt, and I'm going to spread it, and I think I'm going to need one more, like 1 teaspoon per pound. Taste it, and if you prefer to use any more than that, you go ahead and add it. So the meat's still cooking in here. Smells delicious. Smells delicious. The next thing we're going to pour in here is going to be our cayenne pepper. Cayenne is delicious, it's very healthy, and you actually can also add a little bit of spice to your food. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that just like a little quarter of a teaspoon. I don't prefer too spicy. I prefer more taste and spice. But again, it is totally up to you. So once we have this here, and it's going to start frying for quite a bit, about 6 or 7 minutes, I am going to go ahead and add the tomato sauce. So I'm going to go ahead, and I really love these cans because they're just easy to open. Costco also has some great tomato sauce. We're going to pour it over it right here, and we're going to add the second can, because remember, this is a double portion. We're going to go ahead and add a second can of this, and now we have a beautiful mix. You're going to continue to stir it right there. Cover it up. We're going to cover it up. So we're going to bring this to a low heat. And we're going to leave it there for about 10 minutes. And we'll be right in a minute. We're going to take off the lid, and we're going to bring it back to the high position. But remember, you have to stir it so it will not burn on you. And now we're going to add the white wine vinegar. And I have added about half an ounce for each package of meat. So this has 1 ounce of vinegar. So you're going to go ahead and pour it. Okay? And to your likings, you don't have to use the whole 1 ounce or half an ounce. Just use a little bit under half an ounce, because then you might not like it if it's too soury. So I went ahead and put 1 ounce of vinegar because I have double portion of the meat. So at this point, we want to continue to stir. And the more we stir, and because it has no lid, it's going to start to spark and splash all over the place, because the key to this is to make the sauce dry out. As you can see in here, it's starting to splash, you see? So you have to continue, you see? So you have to continue to move it like this, and move it so that the sauce will continue to dry out. And if you see, depending on the pan that you're using, that the bottom is sticking or it's starting to burn, or it's just really hard to keep up, then you lower the pressure, you lower the heat. We are back. It has been 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes are going at high heat so the sauce can dry out. As you can see, it has now dried out and it's still moist enough. So right now, we're actually going to go ahead and turn it off. We're going to also set up our oven to 350 degrees, get it warmed up, and then once it's already warmed up, we're going to bring it up to 400. Now we have taken our ground beef from the stove while the oven pre-cooks, and we're going to go ahead and fill up every one of our bell peppers. All of the stuffed peppers, they have been stuffed, and as you can see, we do have some meat left over here. On white rice, you just put a little more meat on it and then stick the pepper right on top. But if you prefer, you can use that up and continue to fill more peppers. So you really will have about 4 full peppers with each one of the pounds. With this beautiful cheese, to your likings again, you don't have to put cheese if you don't want to. That's going to make a nice crust on the top. It's going to melt right to the bottom of each one of the peppers, and it's going to make a very unique and distinct taste. But again, you don't need to use cheese on this recipe. It is completely up to you. Now we have our peppers and they are completely ready to go ahead and go into the oven. We're going to go ahead and put these beautiful peppers right into the oven here, and we're going to close it up. Now that we have put the bell peppers in the oven, we're going to wait 20 minutes at 400 degrees, and after that we will be back. 20 minutes have passed by and we're going to see our finished work. And they are just beautiful. We have beautiful bell pepper that have been stuffed with ground beef the Cuban way. Now we are at the table, and here are some suggestions for serving the stuffed peppers. You can either serve them with rice, Cuban tostones, and like I said, you put a little bit of the ground beef that you stuffed them with, and then you put it into the side and right on top of that. Let's not forget the green onions. This is used to top it off and have some fresh on the side. Let it rest, let it fall, and just top it off there and put a little bit on your ground beef and makes a perfect plate.